How's it going, everyone? Today I wanted to talk about some of the features and language decisions in Python which I absolutely hate and consider to be detrimental to the language. What I'm sharing is my sole opinion, and would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section down below as we go over these language decisions. Now, before we begin, I'd just like to thank Zed for sponsoring this video. Zed is a lightning-fast code editor written in Rust, and I've been using it to do all my coding for a while now. If you feel like trying out Zed, I've left a link in the description box down below where you can download it for free. Anyway, let's get started. Starting with the first feature I hate and avoid using whenever possible: implicit string concatenation. Whenever you place a string next to another string in Python, Python sees that as an opportunity to concatenate the two strings. As you can see, as soon as we print the text, we get the concatenated text as an output. I'd honestly rather be forced to include the plus operator for this example. And if we were to run this again, we'd get the exact same output. So, what's the problem here? Why do I hate this feature? Well, implicit string concatenation isn't a problem when you're using it intentionally. The problem arises only when you did not mean to use it. To demonstrate what I mean, I'm going to create another example. Here, I'll create a list of names. Thanks to the magic of human error, I forgot a comma after Sandra. So now when I print the length of the list, I end up with 3, and now have to waste time debugging to see what I did wrong. And even when I print the list, I might have a hard time spotting the error here. This is a simplified example of the issue. When you're actively coding something bigger, these small errors become incredibly annoying to debug. But considering how aware I am of implicit string concatenation, it's one of the things I check for first naturally, since apparently my finger is too weak sometimes to press fully down on the comma key. I mean, here the fix is simple, we just add a comma and everything works as it should. There are use cases for it though. Some devs use it to continue long strings. As you can see here, I have 6 strings that all use implicit string concatenation. And when we run this, it combines all of them. But preferably, I'd still rather be forced to explicitly add the plus operators. It's just one of the moments where I'd like to be warned, since accidentally missing a comma isn't that uncommon. Moving on to the second feature I hate. And honestly, this one makes my blood boil, because it's like a bunch of devs got together, argued, and decided that to make everyone happy, they'd make it as complicated as possible. What I'm talking about is the typing module mess. Not so long ago, Python decided to soft deprecate a lot of types from the typing module and move them to collections.abc. Now, why the hell would you move types from a module name that everyone can easily remember to something that sounds far more complicated than it has to be? If you need a special type, the first module that comes to mind is the typing module. It has it in the name, folks. I don't need to Google anything to import from the typing module. I'm getting really upset just talking about this, so let me show you why I'm so angry. Previously, if we wanted to use a type like callable, we'd import it through the typing module. But this has been soft deprecated, and the docs recommend moving on to collections.abc. So what we really should be doing here is this. Why the hell is callable now in a collections module? Who thought it was a good idea to soft deprecate it and move it out of the typing module? I can somewhat understand including collection types here, but this was a huge step backwards for typing in Python. What they should have done to simplify things was create a submodule for the typing module. For example, they could have done something such as typing.collections, and there they could have placed the collection types, such as iterables, iterators, and mutable sets. This approach is simple, readable, and doesn't require you to have 5 years of Python experience to know which module you're supposed to use for the callable type. I'm angry about this because I love type annotations, and I love when others care about type safety in their code as well. But soft deprecating types from the typing module, some of which aren't even collections, and moving them to a dedicated collections module is just silly and counterproductive. Poor move, Python. Poor move. And finally, the third language decision I'm not really a fan of is the empty dictionary syntax. As an experienced Python dev, it has never been immediately clear to me whether an empty pair of curly braces represents a set or a dictionary. I always have to think about it for a second. Luckily, with modern code editors, you can just hover over the variable and it will tell you. An empty pair of curly braces creates a dictionary, and using the type method will confirm that. Although, thanks to type annotations, it's really hard to mix this up. The static type checker complains here when I try to create a set, because an empty pair of curly braces creates a dictionary. I really would have preferred it if they found a way to make it less ambiguous. Personally, I'm a really big fan of the colon approach, because it's pretty easy to read. There's no key, no value, just a colon. It's very straight to the point when it comes to creating an empty dictionary. And while it's not the end of the world, it would have been nice. Anyway, I'd love to hear your thoughts on all of these features in the comment section down below. I'd also love to hear what your most hated Python features are. But otherwise, with all that being said, thanks for watching and I'll see you in the next video.